holding the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And whether you guys realize it or not, that is something Bryan Danielson has never been able to accomplish. Now, Bryan, I'm not an idiot. On March 5th at Revolution for 1 hour, I know you're gonna give me everything you got. You're gonna put on the performance of a lifetime for these people. You are going to use every trick out of your sleeve that you picked up in Japan and Mexico and UK and Canada. And you are going to put me through the hardest match of my life. But know this. After those 60 minutes are up, after that clock strikes 0, I will be victorious. Because you aren't the best wrestler in the world, Bryan. I am. And at Revolution, I'm gonna prove it. Because you don't have the balls to do what it takes to win. And it's because my name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman. This ain't Sing Along with MJF. Shut your mouths. And I'm better than you and you know it. Now, if you don't want to take my word for it, maybe you'll listen to a man who has known Bryan Danielson his entire career. Maybe you'll listen to a man who Bryan Danielson looks to as a mentor. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels.
Christopher Daniels, a former Ring of Honor World Champion, one of Bryan Danielson's longest rivals throughout his career.
Yeah, Chris Daniels, one of the better tacticians you're ever going to find in any generation of professional wrestling. And as MJF said, knows the American Dragon very well.
And Danielson and Christopher Daniels, I mean, they really defined that early era of Ring of Honor wrestling with their highly intense, highly technical battles.
Okay. Chris, do me a favor and tell these people the truth about Bryan Danielson inside the squared circle.
The truth. Okay, the truth. Full disclosure, Laredo. MJF paid me an obscene amount of money tonight to denigrate Bryan Danielson on national television. And Max, there was a time in my life where I would happily take in this money and come out here and bury Bryan Danielson with you for hours. But that's not the man I am today, Max. And if you want the truth is, Bryan Danielson is set to knock your dick in the dirt.
All righty then.
Wow, that's pretty graphic.
You see, Max, I remember the first time I was in a ring with Bryan Danielson. 20-year-old Bryan Danielson hit me so hard, I thought I would die in the middle of that ring that night, and that's when I knew that Bryan Danielson was going to be great. I watched Bryan Danielson win the King of the Indies tournament in APW in 2001. And that tournament directly inspired the creation of Ring of Honor Wrestling as a promotion. And Ring of Honor Wrestling brought real professional wrestling to a fan base that was starved for it at the time. The same type of fans that were ecstatic when All Elite Wrestling opened 4 years ago. So you see, if there wasn't a Ring of Honor, there might not be an AEW, and there definitely wouldn't be an MJF.
Well, that about sums it up, don't you think?
Now, Max, I've shared locker rooms with Bryan Danielson all over this planet. And I watched him wrestle as many matches as he could handle, because everything he wanted to do, he was a sponge about professional wrestling. He wanted to learn everything he could about pro wrestling. He tried to learn one new thing every match he ever had. And I watched him do it over and over and over and over until I watched him become a world champion. Max, he knows what it takes to be a world champion. He's on the path to becoming world champion one more time. And that's why these people love him, and that's why you hate him, Max. And it's not just because he's about to take the one thing from you that you love more than anything else. It's because he is exactly what you wish you could be. He is the best wrestler in the world today. Not you. You're just a fraud. Woo! And he's going to out-wrestle you and expose you.
Oh, now, yeah. You see the true colors of MJF.
I'm the best in the world.
I don't think you are. I don't think you are, son of a bitch. I don't think you are. I don't think you're going to get a chance to prove it either. I don't think you're going to get a chance to prove it.
Let's hear it for CD for being a stand-up guy.
You don't walk away from me.
Ooh, damn. He broke his jaw. Shot. Oh! Good God. And now look at the salt of the earth, the arm bar. That's why MJF wanted Bryan Danielson's shoulder